on campus here at Danville High School with Coach Andro Williams. And we want to thank Sparks, as always, Sparks Energy, for their sponsorship of this show and many other things with Average Joe's Sports Talk. It was right here in Danville, Alabama. You guys know who they are from this area, obviously. Coach, had to miss a couple of weeks due to some health issues, but I'm back in the saddle. We're going to rewind the clock a couple of weeks, and let's start back with that Brindley Mountain game. I believe you guys come out with a 41-0 victory over those guys.
We did.
And that had to be good, and I'm sure you got some young guys in. So take us back to that week.
Well, man, that seemed like forever. But,
yeah.
I was proud of our guys for, trying to set this stamp on where we were trying to go. First of all, thank you guys for what you do, supporting our programs, and Sparks, what they've done. They so vital to our progression and supporting us in what we're doing here at Danville High School. So I want to thank them. And man, I just, like I said, we were blessed to be up getting the win there. We knew that was a perfect game. There was playoff implications. That was one of the goals that we set. Especially after last year, we didn't make it, and we wanted to try to make sure we set the stamp and try to make progression from there. And that's what we did. We knew we had to beat Brindley Mountain in order to do that. So my kids came out and we got after it and played pretty well that game.
How good was it to get a shutout as well?
That was big for our defense coordinator. I coached him. He's took it to death, and we talked about that beforehand with our younger guys when they went in the game. We wanted to make sure we tried to get that shutout. I think 2 weeks previous to that, we had an opportunity to get one as well, and we didn't get it. So, but yeah, that was huge for our kids, just the mentality and just trying to work from there. But again, I'm real proud of our guys for staying the course. Find a way to get it done with a younger team and having some injuries here and there, having to plug some people in. These last 2-3 weeks, we hadn't had to do that, and it makes it better for our coaches and our preparation. And we just go in and work on game plan instead of worry about switching, swapping, and all that kind of stuff with kids. When your numbers short and and young and everything, you have to move kids around. But again, I'm proud of our guys, proud of the work they put in and stayed the course, and team to work and try to get themselves in a position to try to reach one of their goals. And one of them was to try to make a stamp and get in the playoff and then drop for position from there.
Now, you just mentioned a minute ago, anytime you got a young team, you get highs and lows.
Oh, yeah.
You guys win that week and then turn around and play Brewer and lost.
Right.
I know you weren't happy with the outcome, but what did you learn about your guys in that Brewer game?
Well, like I told them when I came in here, man, I feel like, we don't want to bag up the saddle and get in some old habits of some things. We're probably a better football team than what we displayed. But again, sometimes you have to find other ways and other means to get it done. And we didn't get it done. And, biggest thing is coming in and competing and getting after it, as a unit. And I thought that Brewer, like I said, I knew they was going to come. I told those kids, they were going to come. They were just coming off a big high of winning a big-time game to get them in the playoffs. And not only in the playoffs, they end up being a third seed. And I knew they was riding high at the time. I thought we did some great things early on. So the biggest thing I wanted to do is try to learn from the things that we done wrong and the things that we done in the course of that game. But it's more so probably between the ears than more so the actual on the field part of it. And, we just got to try to work and learn how to get past that part of it, the mentality part of it, of knowing where we at and where we're sitting and knowing how to protect where we're at and doing the things we got to do to be successful. And that's the blocking and tackling on a consistent basis. Like I said, we did some good things early on, believe it or not, as bad as it looked, but we just wasn't consistent at some things, and things didn't go our way early on, and we sort of just found the mode, and they kept coming because they were smelling blood, and they're supposed to. They playing good football right now, and that's the best time to be playing your best football. Again,
good.
Yeah, again, I didn't think that we displayed who we are right now during this time, And again, we having to, make do with what we got and kind of get it in with what we got, but we got to learn to make adjustments on the fly. And as a young player, I was talking to our kids, as a young player, it's kind of tough to do that when you hadn't been in the fire. But again, they got to set the precedent for where we're going and where we're at. And that's just something that comes with maturing as a football team and just getting better as we go along, man.
This part of the state, man, football's tough each and every week.
Right.
You don't have no quote unquote week off. I mean,
right.
You're going to be in a battle every week. But
right.
How important was it for you to get that playoff berth? And that's ultimately what you wanted.
Right, that's what we wanted. Like I said, there's no stranger that we talked about that. And I challenged them last year, hey, don't let that happen again. I thought that we were a team that would possibly be able to do it. I thought, we had some things had to go our way in order to get in, but we got in. we want to control the things we control, and that not depend on somebody else to get in. Well, I thought that we had opportunity to do those things and help ourselves to just get in point blank and drop for position in this region. So, again, that's a process. But it was huge for our guys. I'm proud of them for staying the course. I think that's a step towards where we're going, culture-wise here, to understand that we can be in there on a consistent basis. We want to set that precedent where we control the thing we control and be a playoff team on a year-to-year basis here. That's something that, I'm trying to challenge them on a day-to-day basis and what they do in the off-season to prepare themselves to get ready for that. And that's just a process. That's a mentality. That's a culture. That's the expectation. And we got to expect to win and find a way to get that done right here on a consistent basis. And that's something that's been inconsistent. But, you have to pay the sins and do what you got to do, but you have to sell what you're selling for selling your program and selling what we're doing. And, again, these guys have stayed the course. It's a good, close, young bunch. We're just losing 3 guys off this bunch. And we feel like they can stay together and stay even killed, because they could have easily fell by the wayside like some others. But they stayed the course and did what they had to do to, to put themselves in this position. So that's what it's about. We want to thank those guys, reward them for what they've done, and keep working hard, as we go forward.
Coach, you're getting into the playoffs is one thing, and then learning where you're at in the playoffs is another. But like you said, the thing I pulled out of what you just said the most is expectations need to be there from here moving forward.
Right.
We belong in these playoffs.
Exactly, and that's what we selling to our kids. We want to create value for our situation, for them as a whole. And I see 2 or 3 kids, man, that's Talon Cross is one of them that just jumps out at me right now. He's a guy that had missed a day. He loves it. He's working his behind off every day, and he's putting himself in position to know how to do this thing the right way. And it's not about him. It's about the entire picture. But he's just having to be the product that we're using, and he's come to work. I see the coaching that have taken place with him from start to finish, and you can see that. And that's what's good for me, that I can see that we continue to work hard as a coaching staff to continue to put these guys in position, because you see you got kids that work hard and do what they got to do and do the things to be successful, as a whole. So our guys have bought in to what we're doing, I feel like, and they're working hard. And again, we want to get down the stretch where, hey, we know we're playing the #1 team in the state in 3A. We know that what we got going as far as our personnel and our kids, but you got to play the best in order to get to where you're going. So I don't have a problem with that, and our kids don't have a problem with that. We just got to show up and try to maintain and do what we got to do.
Now, you mentioned who you were about to play, which is Mars Hill, who's been to state championship games multiple times. They've won state championships. And Coach Darryl Higgins that's kind of his brainchild over there. He kind of created what we all in the state knows is Mars Hill now. And when you play them, you ain't got to go look around. You're going to judge where your program's at by playing them each and every year. I say that to say this: they're loaded at multiple positions. I'm talking about from the front to the back. Anywhere you look, they got them. When you turn on film and you watch Mars Hill, what did you see?
Well, you see a championship type team. You can tell they're well coached and they're well-oiled machine for the most part on both sides of the ball. If you notice in their region that they're in, they were the #1 seed. They're 2, 3, and 4. Didn't score a point on them, and coming out of that region. And those were some good football teams that's over there that's in that region with them. So they're going to do things the right way. Coach Higgins is a guy that believes in doing it the right way. He got some players that know how to play the game, and they have a good time playing it, and they get after you. And that's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to that point where we'll set our precedent, and they believe in their identity of who they are. They don't deviate one way or another. If things don't go well for them, they keep playing. And that's what we're trying to get our kids to understand about that consistency of just keep being who you are and keep coming and keep working your behind off to get better as you go along. And that's where we're at right now. I just think that's where we're at. That's where we're trying to get to, where the Mars Hills of the world are, but on a consistent basis. And again, their program won't be no different than a lot of other great programs that's being consistent in this state, and they'll be tough to deal with.
How important is it for you to be being around and coaching and being a part of those programs growing up, and then early in your career? It ain't no stage fright for you. You've seen it and done it all. So when you see a team like this, better mindset how to attack a team.
Right. Well, the biggest thing is just being able to get that across to our kids. You know, it ain't really about, you know, the experience that I've had, which it is, because I'm glad I've got the chance to experience some good programs and be around, play some teams that were that caliber type teams, and then being a part of some teams that were pretty good football teams that was consistent, that came at you where they're going to come at us. And but again, we just got to try to dial that into our kids and try to get them to understand that they're going to be who they are. We've got to be who we are. We got to establish our identity, and just trying to go out there and prepare and do the little things the right way. And if we do those things the right way, it's about like that kid I was talking about earlier. That kid never wavered. He kept working. He bought his time. He didn't waver away from his time. He was steady engaged in what we were doing. And we can do that as a unit and stay engaged and keep coming. That's what we asking from them. And it'll make us better down the road if we continue to do it that way.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you. And, as always, sorry we didn't get to come out here with the health issues and everything.
Man, that's part of it.
We're here now, Coach, and I appreciate you. Hopefully, we'll get to see you again next week.
That's exactly right. But like I said, we appreciate what you guys do for all for football and everybody across the state. You know.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.